What's going on, guys? It's me, your host, the one and only Two Toast. And today, I was looking back through my catalog and I realized I haven't brought a smoking advice in a hot ass minute. So here we are, and I'm hoping that this video can help someone out there. If you gotta hide the smell, or if you're in a situation like me where you're just like living below your landlord, or if you're just in a place where you gotta, hide the smelly smell, hide the sacred skunk. We all been there. Some of us are still there. Maybe this can reach someone out there, or maybe you can just sit back and enjoy and reminisce in the good old memories, the good old times where you too also had to hide the smell of the sacred skunk. The first thing that you're gonna need, or that I recommend, the way that I'm gonna be showing it, is with a paper towel. Well, this is a toilet paper holder, but paper towel holder doesn't really matter. Size does not really matter in this equation, in this particular instance. But what you're also gonna need besides this is just, the structure of the science project that we're doing. You also need something to dampen the smell, right? You need something to dampen the smell. And now I don't recommend this, it doesn't have to be Snuggle, but what I do recommend is that you see right there the body odor and pet. I know it was kind of didn't want to really autofocus there, but either like the one, you don't want just like an original dryer sheet. I mean, that's basic, right? Everybody can just get a regular dryer sheet. No, you need that extra strength. We like to use like the ones that specifically say pet on them, or just anything involving animals has like just really good kind of like absorption of smell resistant kind of chemical. I don't know what they do with it, but you know what I mean. Like the pet smell, dogs and cats, so it takes a lot to get the smell out of those, the stink out of the animals. So they a little stronger, I feel. So what we like to do is you can either take one or two of them. You can use however many of these you need, depending on how strong you need the filtering to be. That's the beauty of this, is that you can make it basically as filtered as you want to. You can have it go through as many of these dryer sheets as you feel necessary. For us, we're just gonna do one, and the first one we go to is you're just gonna pick an end. You fold it up nice. You pick an end. And now the key here is to get it flush, right? So you gotta like pull it down. You want it as tight as possible. You need this. You don't want any you need this tight. You know what I mean? You don't want this like poking down or sagging down in there. No, you need that. You need that good seal. You need that good seal. Now, you can use a rubber band. We usually just use a hair tie, just because we have those available. After you got it all sealed, you got your hair tie, you got your rubber band, you basically, you know what the next part is. You just got to wrap it, but you got to make sure that the rubber band, hair tie, whatever you're using to create the seal, is kept on the white part. You want to make sure that it's kept on the white part, because if it's below the white part, there's going to be a little gaps where you're gonna get some leakage. You don't want no sploof leakage, man. You don't want no smoke leakage out of there, because that's just gonna defeat the whole purpose of what we're trying to do here. So once you got that on there, all nice and tight, secure, sealed up, good to go, you typically, at least what we do, you take another one. We like to stuff it inside, right? Just because you get that extra protection in case you do have a little bit of leakage. If it happens, it happens. So this just kind of helps reduce that. You just kind of shove that up in there all nice. Try and cover, the hole down there as much as possible, but you can only do so much. But the better you get it, the more time you take to make sure everything is covered, the better it's gonna work. As like a final touch to this though, because you could kind of call this good for the most part. The smoke will come through all nice and good. It'll smell pretty good for a couple times, for a few times using it, until you gotta change the dryer sheet and stuff like that. But for added filtration, if you got cotton balls, cotton rounds, anything like that in this scenario, we like using that as like the initial thing that the smoke has to go through. I feel like it just helps trap more, and when we use these and you be blowing them through, you know, that smoke, you see how much it traps like the resin, just the nasty residue shit, you know what I mean? So it really does work. Cotton rounds are kind of tricky. Cotton balls might be a little bit easier, you know, just to shove up in there, because with the cotton rounds, they kind of like to just go sideways. But the ideal situation you want in there is same thing with the dryer sheets. You want to just try and have it covering the bottom and the edges. Make sure it's on there just as much as possible. And I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. This is basically, you know, just the homemade DIY good old sploof. And like I was saying, I mean, there's nothing complicated about it, but it does work. And now, you know, you can only really use this like a few times, like I said, depending on your situation, depending on how well you need to hide that smell, depending on how well that skunk needs to be hidden. You're only gonna get like a few bowls out of this if you're dabbing and using it. You know, you can get a little bit more uses out of it just because dabs are a little bit more pure, a little bit more clean. You don't have that just as much residue coming through. Now you can try like different brands, you know, like I said, it don't gotta be Snuggle, man, you know what I mean? We just broke out here, so we on them discount dryer sheets, you know what it be. So maybe different brands do work better. Maybe a Tide dryer sheet has more power in it than this, or something like that, man. So you guys can experiment a little bit. A couple just key notes though to keep in mind: that if you are smoking inside, you're trying to hide the smell, the only way this sploof is really going to be effective is if you're making sure you're either capping your bowls so the smoke from the bowl doesn't get out into the room, or you're taking snappers and actually clearing the snapper in one hit so the residual smoke doesn't come out from the bowl. Because that, even if you're blowing your whole hit through a sploof, even if you got an actual sploof, the one that you bought at a smoke shop or online or something, that residual smoke alone from the bowl is gonna it's not gonna be pretty, man. It's gonna smell. So, you know, you're gonna have to have the candles lit, incense going, all of this combination together. You know, air purifier, I highly recommend. All of this together is gonna create for a pretty relatively fragrance free smoking experience. I mean, of course, while you're smoking it in the area that you're smoking it, it's gonna smell like weed. It just is. Like, no matter what you do, it's gonna smell a little dank. But if you're trying to hide it from people further on in the house, or upstairs, downstairs, just neighbors in general, this should be a relatively pretty safe thing to do, to where, you know, the skunk smell shouldn't travel too much. So, like I said, I hope this video was able to help someone out there, or if not, wasn't able to help you, I hope it was able to transport you back in time, take you back to a memory of when you had to hide the smell of the good. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video around with your friends, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.